How's it going, guys? Nathan from DIY Garage, and today we are going to show you what the most common coolant leaks are on the BMW 4.4 liter V8. Okay, so this particular one is a E53X5 4.4 liter. Now the 4.4 liter is found in the X5. Well, 2000 is the first years. 2000 up 2005 or 6, I think they made this till. Also is found in the E39 on the 540. You could get the non-Vanos 540 in 1998. The M62tu, which is the Vanos engine, which is what this is from 1999 and up. So on E39 it'd be basically 1998 up to 2003 is the last year of that. The E38 was from 1998 to 2001. So all these 4.4 liters, they all struggle from the same issues. First and foremost, timing chain guides. Every 100,000 miles, sometimes not even that, you're going to have to do that. The symptom of that is from a cold start, you hear a growling noise coming from the front of the engine, and those have to be replaced. I have other videos of that up. At the end of this video, I'll link those up, and you'll be able to click on that and go watch the timing videos. Other than that, the most common failure is the water pump / thermostat, and that's sitting right here. And you can't really buy them separate, you have to buy them all one piece. A lot of times it'll say map cooling system error, or whatever the code is, and it'll actually drip out of the weep hole on the water pump, which is down right here. Okay, that's one problem. The other problem are it has all these little hoses, these push lock fitting hoses here and at the bottom of the coolant tank, and as these hoses go to the back of the intake, they are actually clamped on. A lot of times the hoses get ballooned up around the clamps. Here's a clamped on one right here at the heater valve. They'll get ballooned up real big and they'll start leaking there, or they'll blow off. Alright, so as far as those go, you have to take a look at those. That will require you to replace the whole hose going to the rear, since those are a flared end where it goes on. So as far as the push lock hoses go, this thing actually was leaking real bad, and all the brackets aren't in this car because we just had it all apart. This was leaking really bad at this fitting right here, and we replaced the oil ring, and the oil ring, you can see how flattened that is, and it's just hard. Well, it's not hard now, but when I took it out, it was hard as a rock. We actually had to slit it with a razor knife. If you'll focus, come on. Had to slit it with a razor knife to get the bend to be able to pry it out with a small screwdriver. Replace that with a brand new oil ring. That stopped leaking. It fits really tight again. No problem at all. Another common issue is the coolant tank. It likes to crack on the bottom around the little thermostat. You can even see it. Right there is the thermostat sticking out, the little plug-in. It likes to crack around that area. It could also crack around where you push the hoses on. However, that being said, the most common issue is not that. The most common issue is this guy right here. And this guy right here sits, let me set this off to the side so you can see. He sits under the intake. So the one is still on this one. This is a spare we had laying around. And that runs from the back of the water pump under the intake to the back of the engine. These bolt onto the back of the cylinder heads. These are possible leak points, even though they don't have too much of a problem. And then these hoses actually have oil rings. You can't see it on this one because they're gone, but they actually have oil rings. Let me set this down and I'll pop it out and show you. Alright, sorry the camera cut off, so I was just kind of talking to myself for a couple minutes. Anyway, these have oil rings in the back side of here, and you can see this one's all crusty and all flattened out, and a lot of times those have to be replaced. And you could even put some ultra gray on this guy, clean it all up. Why would you want to focus? There you go. And then you push it in there, slide it and turn it in there, and it locks it in place. Now, to get the crank pulley off, you have to either one of the two options. There's a big bolt in the center, or there's a small arrangement of bolts around the outside. To get the water pump off, you must take the crank pulley off. There's a bolt behind it. So that's not too big a deal if you know what you're doing. Then on, as far as your coolant leaking under the intake, you have the valley pan gasket. The valley pan lays under the intake, bolts to the engine block, and it's the whole length of the engine, and it's about 8 inches wide. And then what you have to do, you have to reseal that gasket. That's a common leak. If you notice coolant leaking out of the back of the engine, like back in this area, it actually has a weep hole for the water to come out. It could leak out in the front, out of the center of the engine. If you're having dripping out of the center of the engine, it's for sure either one of these coolant pipe O-rings or it is the valley pan gasket. Now, the valley pan gasket isn't that hard to change. You will need to remove the entire intake to do that. And of course, if you are going in there, you might as well do the O-rings in these and reseal all that too. See, other than that, I mean, other than your O-rings and your radiator, make sure your radiator doesn't have any cracks in it. Just your real common sense stuff. You know, that's all you really need to do. Not that bad of an engine. Once you have the timing chain guides done, they're usually pretty reliable. They don't usually have too much of a problem leaking oil or leaking coolant. That's all for the E53 4.4 liter, E39 4.4 liter 540, and E38 740i 4.4 liter engine coolant leaks. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.